Hello and welcome. Live from Channels Television's global headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria, you're watching Newsroom series. Dominic Iwiwu, and Merry Christmas. Today our focus will be on the North Central region. Today is Christmas, and as Nigerians mark this celebration, President Bola Tinubu has stated his commitment to doing everything within his power to enshrine religious freedom in Nigeria and to protect all people of different faiths from violence. This was part of the president's personal goodwill message to the nation ahead of the Christmas celebration for 2025. Amid concerns about religious intolerance and insecurity, the president said he had engaged with prominent leaders from the two major faiths in the country, promising to build on these conversations to strengthen collaboration between governments and religious institutions, to prevent conflict and promote peaceful coexistence. According to the president, quote, beyond the celebration and festivities of the season, Christmas reminds all to reflect on the significance of Jesus Christ's birth and his message of salvation as the Prince of Peace. End of quote. He acknowledged that the love of Christ and the message of the gospel has inspired many Christians to care for the vulnerable and less privileged in the society, adding that the season is a reminder that despite daunting challenges, God is with Nigeria. President Tinubu reassured Nigerians of the government's unyielding commitment to safeguarding the security, unity and stability of the nation. Meanwhile, Niger State Governor Umaru Bago is felicitating with Christians in Niger State, the country and the world over in the commemoration of the birth of Jesus Christ. In a Christmas and New Year message, the governor notes that Christmas celebration is of immense significance to Christians as he calls for deeper reflection of love, humility, goodwill, and being hopeful. He enjoins Christians to use the period to strengthen their faith in God and continue to pray for peace and prosperity of Niger State in particular and Nigeria in general. On the New Year celebration, Governor Bago tasked all residents of the states to renew their trust in God, be positive and more committed to being responsible citizens, while his administration is also working tirelessly to deliver good governance for the realization of the new Niger agenda. Now, in the spirit of the season, troops of 3 Division JOS under Operation Enduring Peace are celebrating with host communities with the distribution of palliatives to widows and persons living with disabilities in Sanga local government area of Kaduna State. The Christmas Unity event brought together youths, traditional rulers, community leaders, and security agencies, reinforcing peaceful coexistence and trust among communities in southern Kaduna. The commander of Operation Enduring Peace, Major General Folusho Onyilola, describes humanitarian outreach as an effective tool for peace building, particularly during festive seasons. He urged residents to remain vigilant and support security agencies with credible information, assuring them of the military's continued commitment to protecting lives and property.
I congratulate everyone who participated in today's event. You are all winners. What matters most is the spirit of unity displayed and the shared commitment to work together in support of our security agencies. Let us remain resolute against those who seek to divide our communities in order to profit from conflict. I sincerely appreciate the heads of our sister security agencies, our traditional rulers, and the community leaders for their continued cooperation and support. I also thank everyone present for being part of today's program. And on this note, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2026 in advance, as I wish you safe journeys back to your respective destinations.
Now, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command is assuring residents of border communities of adequate security despite the poor road network and telecommunication services around such communities. Speaking in Abuja shortly after embarking on an operational visit to Kawu in Buhari Area Council, the FCT Commissioner of Police, Mila Dantawaye, says the command is working assiduously to improve security within and around the nation's capital in order to ensure the safety of all residents. He explains that the police will not be deterred by the bumpy roads surrounding some border communities as the command remains committed to responding to distress calls promptly.
At a point in time, they felt they were like Sambisa forests. But today, crime has drastically reduced, and so they are happy. So we are happy as well, and we will ensure that we continue to give them that level of support and that level of protection. Just before we got here, the day before yesterday, more arms and ammunition were deployed to the SIS operatives on ground there, and they have attested to the fact that they've taken charge of those arms, and we're thinking that they should enjoy their Christmas and New Year celebrations without anybody disturbing them. That's why we just feel we should come, let them know that despite the fact that they are the fringes, they also deserve to enjoy their Christmas celebrations. We're not going to ask anybody in and around their city not to enjoy his night activities. So instead of giving that advice, we're deploying massively to secure those people. And part of the troops that we're deploying are those that were withdrawing from VIPs. The Deputy Commissioner of Police has been so directed to deploy them to those fringes that all of us, all residents of Federal Capital Territory, will enjoy the festive period.
Now, the National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, says it is strengthening safety standards and professionalism to reduce accidents and protect lives and property on Nigerian inland waterways. The new board chairman of NIWA, Mr. Mukhtar Shagari, made this known in Lokoja during a meeting with staff at the authority's headquarters. He assured them that strict compliance with safety regulations will be enforced as part of a broader reform agenda.
The newly appointed board chairman of the National Inland Waterways Authority arrives at the NIWA headquarters in Lokoja, accompanied by members of the board. He's received by staff of the authority with exchange of pleasantries before addressing the gathering. The issue of compliance with safety regulations remains non-negotiable to curbing the recurrent boat accidents on Nigeria's waterways.
We will strengthen enforcement of safety regulations, improve monitoring systems, and promote a culture of professionalism across all NIWA operations. Every life lost on our waterways is one too many. Under this board, safety is not negotiable.
Representatives of unions expressed confidence in the new leadership and collaboration in advancing NIWA's mandate, while calling for improved staff welfare, including salary upgrades.
You coming here today is a sign of a good leadership quality, who is committed and having a shared responsibility principle, as this is going to help the NIWA as an organization and Nigeria as a whole to move the mandate of this organization in terms of growth and stability.
Two things with us that is bothering our organization. The first thing is our salary review, which everybody they are hammering for. And now I want you to use your good office to get this approved before you left office.
Following the interaction with staff, the board chairman and members proceed to a board meeting where the acting managing director highlighted key challenges facing the agency.
The authority's major constraint is lack of adequate funding, especially as it relates to capital projects and overhead. In addition, approved funds are either not wholly released or not released on time, besides the funds inadequacy. thus resulting to undue delay in project execution. Revenue generation is also not adequate to fund our IGR budget.
As the new board settles into office, staff of the authority are hopeful that the commitments made by the leadership will translate into concrete actions on safety and welfare.
World Bank, in collaboration with the Kwara State government, have funded the revitalization of 80 primary healthcare centers across the state in order to enhance the healthcare sector, especially for mothers and children. Speaking during the commissioning of one of the revitalized primary healthcare centers located at Oloje community in Ilorin West local government area, Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak said that the project was funded by the World Bank-supported Impact Project, the Kwara State government, the Basic Healthcare Provision Funds, and Leadership Challenge Funds, won by the state.
Your Excellency,
these healthcare facilities in the Oloje community, Ilorin West local government area of Kwara State, are more than mere buildings and equipment. They represent hope, dignity, and the Abdulrahman administration's determination to bridge the healthcare divide between urban and rural areas. Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak says his administration inherited a primary healthcare system that was in a state of extreme disrepair, with far-reaching consequences on the people, a situation he refused to accept.
This boldly speaks to our commitment to giving quality health care to every citizen of Kwara State, regardless of where they live. On assumption of office in 2019, we made a promise that quality health care would be accessible to every man, woman, and child in this state. We recognize that the primary health care system is the foundation of any functional health system and will get our full attention. Today, we're not just fulfilling a campaign promise, we have also done, over the past years, what we're doing today.
The World Bank is collaborating with the state government to revitalize 83 primary healthcare facilities, which have also been upgraded to level 2 primary healthcare facilities.
These achievements represent far more than renovated buildings and new equipment. It represents our renewed commitment to bringing quality healthcare to the doorsteps of our people. We are reaching mothers who previously delivered at home without skilled birth attendants. We are reaching communities that were once beyond the last mile. Every mother, child, and family who now have access through this revitalized facility is a testament to what we can accomplish through strategic partnership and shared vision.
The representative of the World Bank urged the residents to protect the properties against vandalization.
Having this beautiful edifice is useless if the people of the community are not utilizing this facility. I hereby urge our mothers, our sisters, uncles, fathers, brothers to utilize these facilities, to take advantage of this beautiful edifice and the upgrade that comes with revitalizing these facilities.
The upgrade has catered to over 500,000 pregnant women compared to 120,000 in 2020, while over 1.6 million children have benefited from vitamin A outreach exercises compared to just over 100,000 children reached in 2020.
You're watching Newsroom series live on Channels Television. Still ahead, the Benue State government sets to establish a new cement factory. That's when we'll come back from this break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Benue State government has announced plans to raise a 10 billion naira bond from the capital markets for the construction of a cement factory. The group managing director of the Benue Investments Company, Mr. Raymond Askamakaha, disclosed this while speaking on the Governor Hyacinth Alia Industrial Revolution program in Makurdi, the state's capital. Mr. Askamakaha explains that the plan is part of efforts to optimize the mineral deposits and raw materials in commercial quantities in the state for cement manufacturing.
The industrialization program of the Benue State government receives a boost following the completion of the multi-million naira food basket brewery located in Makurdi, the state capital. The facility is ready for commissioning. The project, which began in early 2025, reached 90% completion with a capacity to source 85% of its raw materials locally within the state. The group managing director of the Benue Investment and Property Company is optimistic that the products from the factory will be ready for consumption during the Yuletide celebration.
Medium capacity of full basket brewery. It has been a challenge, hurdles and criticism, but as of today, we have reached 98 to 99%. In fact, we know that people will start drinking our beer in the bottle at close of business tomorrow.
The state government is also targeting to commence the full production of fruit juice by February 2026, following the completion of all certification processes. The government is hoping that the industrialization revolution will lead to the creation of 4,000 jobs by 2026. The revolution is taking a step forward as the state government hopes to float a 10 billion naira bond from the capital market to fund the construction of a new cement factory.
As I speak to you, we're in the process of raising 10 billion bond. Very soon, by first or second week, you'll see it in the newspaper that we have commenced the in fact, as I speak, we have commenced, I've signed some documents. We'll raise some bond. Because one of the things we are doing things, unimaginable things that have never happened. So we have started already. But you know, starting up, 10 billion is not money again. So if you want to start up a cement factory, even if it's a modular, it's within 28 billion.
The proposed cement factory is partly to optimize the large deposits of limestone in the state, especially following the sale of Benue Cement Company in 2005.
Now, the governor of Kogi State, Mr. Usman Ododo, has urged both individuals and corporate organizations to invest in the state for the purpose of complementing government's efforts in alleviating poverty at the rural areas. The governor stated this during the commissioning of the Dr. Abdullahi Mustafa Foundation Civic Recreation Complex in Okene local government area of Kogi State. He emphasized the vital role of community support in driving sustainable development, as he assured that his administration will work tirelessly to foster a supportive environment for those willing to invest in the community-centered initiatives.
In the spirit of the Yuletide celebrations, Governor Usman Ododo of Kogi State, accompanied by some of his aides, are in Okene to inaugurate some projects built by private sector partners. His arrival marks the commencement of the event. Traditional rulers from the central senatorial districts, community leaders, top government officials, youth representatives, and members of the legislature are also here to witness the commissioning of a recreational center, a 100-bed capacity hostel for athletes during sports festivals, and various sports facilities. Governor Usman Ododo acknowledges the transformative power of such projects in rural areas, stressing their role in addressing the challenges faced by the less privileged and offering them hope and opportunities for a better future. He highlights that investing in these projects is not just about building infrastructure, but creating a legacy of support for the state government and empowerment for future generations.
These projects demonstrates the power of partnership. When visionary individuals and foundations align with common purpose, development is accelerated and communities are empowered. We remain committed to creating an enabling environment for credible individuals and institutions who are genuinely
Governor Ododo also commends President Bola Tinubu for his purposeful leadership that has created inclusive governance and human capital development for Nigerians.
His emphasis on human capital development and social investment provides strong national support for initiatives such as this. We complement government efforts at all levels.
Those behind the vision and other stakeholders acknowledge President Bola Tinubu's efforts with the Renewed Hope agenda, which prioritizes inclusive growth, youth empowerment, and economic revitalization.
This location once stood largely idle, as we all do, and regrettably became a gathering point where some youth drifted into non-constructive activities that were harmful to themselves and the community at large. Today, Your Excellency, that narrative has shifted towards positive, constructive pursuits.
Today, I must speak as a father of the land to one of our illustrious sons, Dr. Abdullahi Mustafa. You have done extremely well. This initiative gladdens my heart beyond measure. You have shown that when a child is raised by the community, he must in turn raise the community.
We unveil this edifice for the benefit of our people. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Governor Ododo is then taking around the projects as he calls for increased private and corporate partnership with the government aimed at poverty alleviation, youth empowerment, a more prosperous and secured future for the states.
The governor of the Plateau State's Governor Caleb Muftuang says Nigeria must move beyond yearly ceremonies and take deliberate steps to improve the welfare of military veterans. He made the call while launching the 2025 Armed Forces Remembrance Day emblem at the government's house in Jos. Our correspondent Percy Debang reports.
This event is attended by serving and retired members of the armed forces, government officials, and members of the Plateau State Executive Council, as Governor Mutfang describes the occasion as a moment to reflect on the sacrifices of fallen heroes who gave their lives for the unity of the nation. The governor stressed the need to take remembrance activities beyond annual rituals, commending the armed forces for their sacrifices and assuring residents that plans are in place with security agencies to ensure a peaceful Christmas and New Year celebration across the state.
As important as it is, I must tell you honestly, each year we are doing this, I'm struggling. I'm asking, is that all we can do as a nation? As a nation. It's not a plateau conversation. It's a national conversation. We need to really decide as a country, as a nation, what we want to do for these veterans.
Chairman of the Nigerian Legion, Plateau State Chapter, speaks on the essence of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day and Emblem Appeal, which is aimed at supporting veterans, widows, and orphans of fallen heroes across the state.
It is important for us to particularly remember their efforts during Nigerian Civil War, where most of them laid down their lives for the unity of this country. Some sustained different degrees of injuries that have now rendered them handicapped and unable to sustain themselves.
While delivering her address, the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development commended the governor for honoring fallen heroes and supporting their families.
Our presence here today is a testament to your unwavering commitment to honoring the sacrifices of our fallen heroes and supporting their families. We are deeply grateful for the time you took out of your busy schedule to be with us.
The ceremony also featured prayers in honor of fallen heroes and for the safety of personnel currently serving in different parts of the country. Percy Dabang, Channels Television News.
And that's where we drop the anchor on this edition of Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Merry Christmas once more.